Here come the Massena Red Raiders and the Buccaneers simultaneously.
And you can, I'm sure our fans, listeners out there in MSA land can hear the reception out there greeting both of these clubs. We have a packed house here at the Massena Arena, and I think everyone eager anticipation. They're right into it right off the bat and cheering both of these clubs at the top of their lungs.
Very good crowd, but folks, we can find room for you. If you're sitting home right now or in your car and you're thinking about coming over, don't think anymore. Head on over. I mean, a lot of Massena's luminaries are here tonight. I see him over there in the corner. Alzi Nicola's over there, and Big Charlie's over there, and all the important people in Massena are here tonight.
You mentioned Oswego, reminding you call them the OFA Blue Devils because the uniforms are similar. Oswego wearing their royal blue trimmed in white. The pants are blue with white piping and blue helmets, very similar to the OFA. And on the front of their jersey, they have the OHS, Oswego High School. So a lot of similarities, but one big difference is that they're a little stronger than the Blue Devils this year.
No question about it. The introductions will go on ice side now. Our colleague Sandy Cook is down there to do the introductions. What a great crowd there is here tonight. Super crowd, and we certainly invite you to come on down and join us. Bring your portable radio along. Dave and I will endeavor to keep you up to date on what's going on and maybe embellish it a little bit, but certainly it's much more fun to come here and watch this thing in person.
Sure is. And again, a little local flavor of this Oswego club. Their coach, a fine coach, he's been there for 14 years. Pete Sears is a native of Lake Placid. He graduated from Lake Placid High School in 1966. And a good buddy of mine was his coach up there. In fact, that was Ray Pratt. That was Ray's first year coaching the Lake Placid Bombers. So Pete, when he graduated from high school, went down to Oswego State and played for Herb Hammond down there, and he speaks highly of Herb. So a little bit of a local flavor, even though he's up the road about 90 miles. Pete Sears, a fine gentleman and an outstanding coach.
Now the introductions going on the ice. And apparently all the players in every game is a tough game.
Yes, exactly. They're all tough. You take nothing for granted, even though, again, on paper, a little more depth, and came away with an earlier victory against Oswego. But anything at this stage, anything happens, and you run into that hot goaltender or, as we said, the puck takes a tricky bounce. So as long as you go out there and play as hard as you can, give 100%, that's all the coaching staff can ask, and that's all the fans can ask, and that's all you and I can ask.
Well, the Massena Red Raiders are being introduced now, and again, they introduce the entire team before this intersectional game or a state quarterfinal game. And, it's kind of interesting that, instead of playing in the afternoon, they decided to play tonight. But taking a look at this crowd, I'd say good choice.
Excellent choice. I thought we'd have a good crowd, but I didn't realize we'd have this good a crowd.
Oh,
and as I said, they're still coming in. I think they're going to be entertained. 11 seniors on this Raider varsity. I don't know how many on the Oswego club, but I know each one of them going through this could be our last high school game. We hope it isn't, but you never know. There's a lot of pressure, self-built pressure on these youngsters, but we've seen it. They had a lot of pressure on them last week in the sectional game, and they responded really well, and I'm sure that they will respond equally well, and I know the Oswego club will do the same.
Now the Massena starters are being introduced. Mike Ramsdell in the net, Chris Aldis on one point, and Derek DeRocher on the other defensive point. And the starting line will be Jason Chilton's line.
MVP of the NAC this year.
And I just heard today an interesting tidbit that the MVP vote was between he and Chris Aldis.
Josh Pamberg, this line, as we mentioned, going to start against Oswego. They had a field day last time they played. They had 4 goals and 7 assists. And I know Coach Tim Long hopes they pick up where they left off last time.
Mark Robillard and Buck Moran are the officials. They're, as I mentioned, from Section 5. Mark Robillard and Buck Moran, and I'm not sure which is which.
Such a nice voice.
Well, I've talked about important people being here. I see my good buddy Randy Perkins is here, getting ready to watch the game tonight. All righty. We're ready to go. And, I always start to get the little bit of a rush about this time of the game, Dave.
Well, I do too, Jerry.
Looking forward to it.
The Raiders will be defending the goal to our left, the east end of the arena, wearing their home white, and the Oswego Buccaneers to our right, the west end. And the big key at both ends, Mike Ramsdell between the pipes and Jeff DeSantos. A lot of pressure on their shoulders, and especially as we get down to the final 2 or 3 games. But both of these youngsters have had outstanding seasons. Jeff DeSantos
along with Spanberg and Gladding off the faceoff. Chilton breaks into the zone. Asenzi's line for Oswego. Here's Chili right in front, trying to get a shot off the backhander, right on by Gladding. And DeSantis has to make the first save of the night as Massena barged right into the zone and got a shot off. And the faceoff will come inside of Oswego territory. Mike Asenzi out there with Brian Lester on the left wing and Dan Dorsey on the right wing. Off the draw, puck to the blue line. Here's a shot, goes off a leg. Aldis is in after it, into the circle, takes it back out by the blue line. Stick handles it, flips it over on the wing. It goes to Gladding. Here's Gladding with it, into the corner. Spanberg back to Gladding. Gladding gets a shot on behind the net. Here's Spanberg, stick handling in the corner. Spanberg looks to center, it's knocked away. Comes back to Aldis, his shot deflected just wide. Bouncing puck comes back to the blue line, and it's Brian Lester. Does it? Yeah, he does clear the zone. Massena trying to go back in. Knocked off the puck of Gladding, and it comes bouncing back to the Massena blue line. Chris Aldis, fine captain, across to Spanberg. Spanberg trying to battle his way through. It's knocked down, and they got a man breaking free, but getting back is Trevor Cameron as Massena in the middle of a line change to break it up, and the Raiders break it out. Derek DeRocher has it knocked away. Back comes Oswego, 2-on-1. Massena caught on another line change. Here's a shot wide. That shot taken by Dave Bashaw. Back to the blue line. Raiders clear it back out, dumped right back in. Comes in behind the net. It's stopped by Massena goaltender Mike Ramsdell. Chris Aldis with it. Aldis goes to Tayo as Massena's got that Cameron line out there. Tayo flipping it ahead for LeBombard. In the zone it goes. After it is Joe Ferguson. He gets tied up by LeBombard. Cameron's there to poke it away. Steps by the check. Trevor Cameron back to Kenny Smith at the point. Trying to slide it through the middle. It's knocked away. And back out to center ice. Here comes Oswego's Siapa. Siapa in the zone. Smith takes it away. Rips it around behind the net. Massena end. Here comes Tayo for the Raiders. Mark Tayo across the blue line. Gets by one. Has it tipped away. Back out to center ice. Picked up there by Bauer. Bauer flips to the Massena line. Back out it comes to LeBombard. He bangs it off the boards. Goes all the way down the ice. And we're going to have an icing call. Even though the goalie played it, he played it behind the red line. So icing will be called against Massena. And the faceoff will come back in their end.
If we get a matchup, if Oswego skates the 3 lines, Jerry, third unit on third unit, I think a big telltale, they started the Siapa line, the Asenzi line against Chilton's line, and it's such a big mismatch in size, that Asenzi line, they go 5'7", 5'8", 5'7". They can't match up with Massena.
We've got the third lines out there now for Massena, Matt Reed and his line mates, and it's Garrett Ferguson. Here comes Bergeron, deflecting it into the Oswego zone. In after it, Bergeron behind the net, looks to center, cleared in front. It bounces wide into the corner. And Oswego just pokes it out to center ice. Frankie Joy with it. Joy bangs it ahead into the Oswego zone, picked up by Doty. Doty bangs it back out to center ice. Here's Frank Joy, back in the zone. Massena has to get on side. Stopped by DeSantis, side of the net. Here's Mahalski, moving it ahead, and they dump it to center ice. Kenny Smith is there. Here's Smith with it, flipping it, back in the Oswego end. Back after it is Ferguson. Loses. Bergeron hit the side of the net. Trying to go after the rebound. He gets knocked down by the defenseman Mahalski. Comes back to the blue line. Kenny Smith flipping it in front. Here is Bergeron. Gets upended in behind the net. Puck cleared around the boards. Joy with it. Joy gets railed, and the puck is backhanded out to center ice. Kenny Smith chases it down and corrals it in his own end. Kenny Smith now headmans it. B.J. Terry. Terry gets checked, but Joy is there to pick up the loose puck to Kenny Smith. Smith flipping it ahead. It comes to the Oswego line. They dump it back down the ice into the Massena zone, and icing will be the call against the Buccaneers. Face-off will move back inside Oswego territory.
One of the things that Coach Pete Sears was concerned about, Masters not being able to play, number 17, Joe Ferguson, and number 22, Kyle Vargason are going to split that spot, and Ferguson just made a grievous mistake, a blind pass in his own end, put it right on Sebastian Bergeron's stick.
Chilton's line out there off the face-off. Chilton gets a weak one right on. Save made by DeSantis. Puck in behind, picked up there by Pecor. Long head man, they almost had the guy free, but that'll be an icing call against Oswego. They tried to get Dan Dorsey at the blue line, but it went right by him and down the ice, and he had a Massena man kind of draped on him anyway.
Well, Massena's going to be have to be concerned about that. You could see this was one of the game plans. Again, they had a pretty decent scouting report. That transition, they feel they can, especially with the Siapa line, Siapa, Vachon, and Bauer, they really make that transition from defense to offense extremely well. Got to watch for that.
Off the faceoff, DeRocher's drive, knocked down in front. Chilton banging at it, has it poked away. After to Spanberg, pokes it into the corner. Here's Spanberg going after it along with Pecor. He gets to Gladding. Gladding in behind, has it knocked away, bounces to the 45. Chilton there, racks it into the boards. Whips in behind, picked up by Pecor. He wraps it off the boards, out to center ice, down the ice. Another icing call against the Buccaneers.
That's that matchup we were talking about, Jerry. The Jason Chilton line, Chili's goes 6 foot, Josh Spanberg's 5'11", and Derek Gladding is 6'2", and they go against the Asensi, who is 5'8", Dorsey 5'7", and Brian Lester 5'7". Big mismatch in size, and I just don't think Oswego can handle that line. But I see no other way that Coach Sears can match up.
Face-off left side, Oswego zone. Cameron. The face-off won by the Buccaneers. They move it out. Kenny Smith gets a whack at it to Tayo. Here's Tayo turning it around to Cameron. Trevor takes it across. Looks to center. Tayo in front. Backhander is wide. Bombard trying to hit the side of the net. It bounces free, and it's out to center ice. Kenny Smith kept it in. Now it's out to center ice. Breaking in the zone is Dave Bashaw. Getting by Smith, gets a shot to save the rebound. Nice save, and the puck cleared back to the blue line. Big chance for Oswego, and I almost said they score because they almost did. Back out at center ice. Puck knocked away by Smith, trying to go ahead to Cameron. Intercepted. Into the zone is Jason Bauer. Bauer ahead to Siapa. Siapa centering past Bashaw, knocked off his stick by Joy. Joy in behind the net for Kenny Smith. Smith wraps it around the boards for LeBombard. Here's LeBombard moving it ahead to Cameron. Trevor down the ice. Winds up, his shot hits the side of the net. And Massena's going to make a line change here as it's B.J. Terry in the corner. Terry has it poke checked away. Comes along the boards and out to center ice. In fact, it's going to go all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. In the corner, Derek DeRocher into the boards, flips it ahead for Terry. Terry moving it out to center ice. Dumped right back in the zone. Picked up by Matt Reed. Reed turns it around now, looking for the headman to Terry. Bounces away from his stick. Picked up by Pecor. Pecor has it knocked away by Terry. Delay offsides. Pecor recovers. Picks it up. Flips it down the ice again. And I think we're going to have another icing call right there. The whistle blows. And Oswego guilty of icing quite a bit here, but I think that's part of their plan.
A good example of the danger that Siapa, Vachon, Bauer line for Oswego. That time, Jason Bauer coming down the left side, got a half step on the Raider defenseman, and Mike Ramsdell came up with a big save. The rebound came out. Vachon jumped on it, and as you thought it was a goal, I did too, but Rammer, standing tall, came up with a big rebound save.
Off the faceoff, puck cleared around the boards by the Buccaneers. They move it ahead. And out to center ice, Leduc. Leduc moving it ahead to Grimshaw. The puck knocked away from him, back out. Bergeron, stick handles. Looks to headman for Brian Terry. Terry bangs it in the zone, knocked back out to center ice. Here's Sebastian Bergeron again. He whacks it from the red line in the Oswego zone. In behind the net, Oswego defense, Ferguson trying to flip it ahead to Pecor. Pecor bounced pass to himself off the boards. He starts it out to center ice. His pass intercepted by DeRocher, comes back to Pecor, and he dumps it in the Massena zone again, in behind the net. Picked up by Aldis. Aldis around the boards. Gladding with it. Gladding gets forechecks, skates back, rips it on the other side for DeRocher in behind the net. DeRocher, stick handles, gets by a forechecker, moves it to Aldis, ahead to Gladding. Gladding moves it out. Headman to Reed, hits him in the skate. It's dumped back in the zone, a bouncer right on, and the save is made by Mike Ramsdell. Aldis again. He'll start out, flips it ahead. DeRocher bangs it. Spanberg trying to move it out. Now Chilton throws the check. The puck bounces free to Spanberg. He poke checks it. It goes in the Oswego zone. Clear to the blue line. Spanberg keeping it in. Looks up. Goes into Chilton behind the net. Here's Chili with it. Circling, trying to wrap it around. It's knocked away and picked up by Dorsey. Here's Dorsey down ice. Being bothered by Gladding. I guess he was. He poked the puck away. And here comes Chilton. But apparently there's going to be a penalty. He got the stick up a little bit too high.
No question. It's going to be a hooking call against. He's looking at Chili, but I'm sure it's Derek Gladding he means. He still hasn't looked. Well, they're going to call both of them. When both are going to the box, I don't. He's calling. He's going to call Chili for roughing. We had the hooking call first, no question. Derek Gladding on the far side, right in front of the Oswego bench, was hooking
the power play. So Oswego on the power play. Tayo steals the puck, flips it to the Oswego line. The Buccaneers try to get something going out there. They got the Siapa line. They bring it in the zone. Centering pass, knocked down. The shot right on. The rebound cleared to the blue line. Kept in by Pecor. Drives it right on. Save made. Puck sits in the slot. Finally, it's cleared into the corner. Dave Vashaw flips it in behind the net. Picked up by Siapa. He makes it to Pecor at the blue line. Pecor has it poked away. Here comes Tayo. Tayo picks it up, wastes some time, and then dumps it down the ice. About 55 seconds left in the power play. In behind, Dave Doty. Doty to pick up the puck. Doty coming out of his own end. Moves it ahead, has it stolen away by Tayo. It bounces off his stick. Jason Bauer. Bauer for Oswego in the Massena zone. Takes it in behind, looks to center. It's knocked down in front, bounces away. Here's a backhander wide into the corner. Frankie Joy with it, rips it down the ice. And at the other end it goes. 30 seconds left in the power play. Now DeSantis, the goalie, flips it ahead for Pecor. Trevor Cameron out there to kill it with Josh Spanberg. Spanberg's trying to step in front, but it comes to Vashaw. Here comes Vashaw across the blue line. Drops it back. Gets it back again in the corner. Vashaw gets by the check, centers it in front, and Rammer got a piece of it. Knocked it away, and Trevor Cameron picks it up and dumps it down the ice. It bounces slowly into the Oswego zone. The goalie clears it all the way down the ice into the Massena zone. Ramsdell out of his net to try to play it. It almost got away from him, but it goes ahead to Cameron. Penalty up. Here comes Cameron down the sideline. He's checked off it, Gladding in after it. He throws a check, and the puck pokes into the corner as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Aldis with the puck in his own end, or in the neutral ice end. He flips it back in the Oswego zone. Still no score. 0-0. We're in the first period. 0-0 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Here comes Brian Lester. Gets by Aldis in behind, trying to center. DeRocher makes a good play to block it. Comes back to the blue line. Poked back into the corner by the Oswego defense. After it there is Matt Reed. Reed banging it ahead. His pass intercepted. Comes in behind again. Oh, DeRocher throws a check. Puck bounces to the side of the net, and it's picked up by DeRocher again. DeRocher trying to flip it along the boards. Little pressure here by Oswego on Massena after that power play. DeRocher, though, moves it down the ice, and I think it went up all over the boards. Yeah, over the glass into the stands. So we're down to 5:41 left in the first period. No score on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Good pressure by the Buccaneers on that power play, but number 3, a tower of power out there, Frankie Joy, had a strong effort out there killing that penalty. He's had some good moments, excellent games with the Raiders this year. None better than last week against Potsdam, especially in that third period, especially late when he killed off that penalty in the dying moments of that game. And he had another great shift out here killing this penalty off.
Chilton out there against Ferguson now. So now the lines have gotten mixed up because of the power play. Chile will take the face-off.
And there were others out there killing that penalty. It wasn't just Frankie Joy alone. He had Kenny Smith. And
now Chilton gets tossed off the draw. Puck bounces into the corner. And it's behind the net. Frank Joy with it. Rips it around the boards for Gladding. He stops it. Back to Joy. Joy circles. Looks around. He's going to wrap it around the other side. Comes to Spanberg. Spanberg to Chilton. And here comes Chile. Chile down the ice. He gets knocked down. The puck comes in the corner and behind the net. Hard check thrown there. It comes to Doty for Oswego to the blue line. Joy keeps it in, whacks at it. In the net! That took a weird bounce, and Massena gets a goal from Frankie Joy, and I have no idea how that ended up in the net, and I don't think Jeff DeSantis does either, but the Raiders take the lead.
DeSantis hasn't seen that. Jeff DeSantis hasn't seen that puck yet. Now that he turns around, it comes out to center ice. He was completely screened. The puck running around the dasher. Oswego tried to clear it. They ran it around the dasher. Came back to the left side to the right point of DeSantis. And Frankie Joy one-timed it. And he got it up about shoulder high. And it was kind of wobbling in there. He didn't get all of it. But in through traffic, DeSantis completely lost it. Went in over his left shoulder to top left-hand corner. And the Raiders get that first big goal.
Chilton picks up an assist, and Spanberg as well. And I'll tell you what, after Oswego putting pressure on offsides on Massena, after Oswego putting the pressure on with Massena coming down and scoring, that certainly is a big goal.
And not only a big goal, that's Frankie Joy's first goal of the year, and it can't be any bigger than that one. And it looks like Derek Gladding's also going to pick up an assist on that along with Jason. No, Josh Bamberg and Jason Chilton picking up assists.
Off the face-off, here comes Tayo in the zone. He's knocked off the puck. It comes in behind, picked up by Vargason. He wraps it around the boards, comes to Kenny Smith. He winds it up. Shot blocked in front, bounces free. Here's a chance for Tayo, and I think he hit LeBombard with it. Here's a sharp angle shot, deflected in front. It bounces around to the blue line, kept in the zone by Cameron. Now the Buccaneers clear it to the red line. Kenny Smith to flip it ahead for LeBombard. LeBombard gets knocked off the puck. Here's Cameron to LeBombard in front, shot. He fired it high and wide. Oh, nice feed by Trevor Cameron. Here come the the Oswego Buccaneers across the blue line. Offsides will be the call as Siapa tried to take it across, but Bauer was in ahead of the play, and the whistle blows, and lines will change.
Jerry, we've talked many times about that. After a goal, the team that scores it, they go on that frenzy, and the team that was scored upon, they sit back on their heels, and even more so in a big game when you have a big crowd and so much on the line. The Raiders have really picked their game up a notch, and they've got Oswego right back on their heels.
Off the face-off, the puck bounces high in the air. We've got the Asensi line for the Buccaneers, and it's Massena's line of, let's see here, Matt Reed. Puck bouncing into the 45, picked up by Terry, headman to Reed. Reed goes to Bergeron. Here comes Sebi across the blue line. Looks, bounces it. It goes to Terry in the corner. Terry looks to center, off a leg. Bergeron digs it from behind. Terry looks to center again. It goes off a leg. And the puck finally picked up by Lester. Lester has it tied away, gets it back again, backhands it out to center ice. Aldis steps by one, has it knocked away. He's going to chase it down at his own blue line. Chris Aldis circling into his own zone, looks up ice, has it knocked away. Here's a chance for Vachon. Aldis sprawls on the ice and blocks the pass. Comes to Terry. Terry ahead to Matt Reed, steps by the check, goes to Bergeron. We got a 2-on-1. Reed breaking in with Bergeron. Here's Reed, skates in front. Bergeron, he deflected it just wide. Bouncing puck in behind. Bergeron looks to center. It's knocked away. We have a whistle. And I don't know what the call is.
The call is, there's no question of penalty, but the crowd down to our right is really incensed because number 2, Derek DeRocher, he's going to run them both. And the fans are incensed because number 8, Dave Vachon, who took a check from Derek DeRocher, who I thought was, he's calling him cross-check. No way. But that was perfectly legal, and Derek DeRocher went down on his back when he ran into Vachon. Vachon turned and sticked him right in the throat, and that's the crowd is really incensed down to our right. They felt that should be an intent to injure penalty. Well, evidently he heard the crowd, but he's going to run both of them.
So the net result is a Massena power play. So the Raiders getting their first power play of the evening. Raiders lead it 1-0 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard with 3:23 left in the first period.
That fine freshman Matt Reed did yeoman's work, broke out of his own end, created a 2-on-1 situation, got down with he and Sebi Bergeron. Matt wasn't sure whether to shoot or pass. He looked like he was going to shoot, then he elected to make the pass, and he got it across, and Sebastian just couldn't get a stick on it. Vachon was doing a good job back-checking on him.
Off the face-off, Massena controls. Aldis flipping it to Chilton. Chilton skates in front, has it knocked away, but Aldis keeps it in, flips it in the corner. Goes in behind for Spanberg. Back to Gladding. Gladding to Spanberg in the corner right side. Back to Aldis at the point. Aldis goes to Chilton at the 45. Here's Chili now. Back to Aldis at the point. Winds up the shot. Deflected, and it's knocked away. Comes right to Chilton. He winds it up. Knocked down in front. Bounces free, and it comes back to the blue line, and it's cleared to center ice by Brian Lester. Here's Aldis. Aldis takes it across. Trying to drop it for Chilton. It's knocked away. He digs for it, and it comes to Chilton. Chilton trying to flip it. Bounces free, and finally it's picked up by Neil Pecor. Pecor in his own end, cranks it down the ice. In behind the net, in the Massena zone, Chris Aldis back after it. 35 seconds left in the power play for the Raiders. Here comes Jason Chilton, dropping it for Aldis. Ahead to Chilton. Chilton across the red line, takes it across to Gladding. No, it's not across, it's poked away, and it's dumped down the ice. A good check thrown there by Neil Pecor, but he knew it. Here's Aldis with it. Flipping it ahead, bounces into the Oswego zone, goes by the defenseman. After it, Spanberg in the corner, gets tied up, gets away. Back to Kenny Smith. Back in the corner it goes to Spanberg. In behind the net. Here's Spanberg getting tied up. Kicks it free. Takes it in the corner. Drops it to Smith. Smith the gladding. Short side looking to center, but it's knocked away by Pecor. Pecor bounces it out to center ice. Here's Aldis with it. Aldis flips it ahead. Penalty is up. It goes into the Oswego zone. They just dump it right back down the ice. Here's the shot, and it's up into the wall. That shot taken by Jason Bauer. He can motor that guy. As he got to that puck in a hurry, got the shot off. 1:35 left in the first period. Massena Red Raiders leading the Oswego Buccaneers 1-0 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Raiders not too successful in the last 5 games of the year, Jerry, on that power play when they've had the man advantage. In fact, just 14%, 3 out of 21, and we'll chalk this up to 3 out of 22. Unable to dent the twine on the power play, but they had some good pressure in there. And you mentioned a big check by Pecor, Neil Pecor. He's a big one, 6'1", 210. He put a lick on Chile.
Cameron will take the face-off against Boyzik off the draws. Boyzik filling in, back out to center ice, back in the zone. In behind the net, Frank Joy with it, wraps it around the boards for Tayo. Tayo bounces it up on the glass and controls it. Trying to turn it around, picks up a couple of forecheckers, managed to get it free. Cameron pokes it out to center ice. Here's Trevor, flipping it in the zone, racing in after it. He's got LeBombard breaking, tries the center, bounces in front, LeBombard can't get the shot off, and the goaltender Ascenzi, he's got it in the glove.
I tell you, Jerry, but you've heard it 100 times. The guy go to the net without the puck. That's a dangerous guy. No one does it any better on this Raider team than number 17, Brian LeBombard. He goes to the net so strong. He knew that the Panther would get him the puck. Breaking down that left side, LeBombard on the right side went to the net and just within an eyelash of tipping that one home.
Face off right side, Oswego zone. 1-0 Massena. Off the draw, puck sits in the circle. And finally, it's controlled by the Buccaneers. They flip it out to center ice. Puck controlled by Siapa, knocked away from him, comes to Tayo. Tayo looking for Cameron. LeBombard picks it up, takes it across, gets knocked down, trying to stay with it, but it comes bouncing free to Siapa. Anthony Siapa has it knocked away by Tayo. Here's Tayo faking the shot into the corner, has it roll away from him, and the puck is cleared down the ice. I think that's going to go right on. Yep, so no icing is called. Kenny Smith picks it up off the stick of Mike Ramsdell. Here's Smith backhanding it around the boards. Brian LeBombard. LeBombard looks up, then drops it back to Smith. He's going to try the other side to Frank Joy. He's got Tayo. Instead, he flips it out to center ice, dumped back in the zone. And we're going to have an intentional offside called against Oswego, and that'll move the faceoff all the way back inside their territory with 19 seconds left in a very fast first period. On the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, Raiders lead it 1-0.
We talked about the matchups at the top of the broadcast, and Coach Sears has elected to put that third unit out there, but they haven't been out there long. They've had stints of 42 seconds first time out. The second shift was 46, and on that third one, just 28 seconds out there on their third shift, Jerry. So he's spotting them, but trying to go as far as he can with the 3 lines.
Face off right side, off the draw. Puck bounces free. Chile goes after it. Has it knocked away. Comes out to center ice. Aldis is there. Waits. Takes it across and drives it, but it deflects off a stick up into the net, over the netting. And the faceoff will move, I believe, out to the blue line, just inside the zone of Oswego.
In fact, Joey just pointed out to me, we don't have a plus-minus chart, but the Raiders' goal came against that third unit. Was Jason Chilton's line out there. Caught Oswego in a mismatch, and Massena scored against Oswego's third goal.
Off the face-off, Chilton trying to force it through, but it's knocked away to center ice. 2 seconds, 1 second. That'll take care of the first period. So the Raiders have a lead. They have a 1-goal lead after 1 period of play to take to the locker room over the Buccaneers of Oswego. 1-0 for Massena. Our broadcast on WMSA brought to you by Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant, working together. Their quality shines through. By Northern Insuring, 37 Glen Street in Massena. By Compost Quick Lube, 27 East Orvis Street. Also by Violi's Restaurant, 209 Center Street. By Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, downtown Massena. By Kentucky of 1-0. Great crowd here at the arena, just a super crowd. This is the the best crowd for a high school hockey game I think I've seen in a couple of years. This really is just a super crowd here this evening, and I know the Red Raiders appreciate all the fan support here tonight.
They certainly do, and both these clubs just trying to get back to Utica, getting that final game. Massena was there last year. 2 years ago, Oswego were there. They were beaten in the finals 3-1 by Albany Academy. But again, 3 more games, that's all they want, to keep telling themselves, take them one at a time, be it both clubs capable of winning this hockey game. And we had a fine first period, up and down, both goaltenders coming up with key saves. The Raiders getting the only goal of the period.
Here we go. Chilton facing off against Asensi off the draw. The puck controlled by the Buccaneers, and they dump it in the Massena zone. Comes right on, and the easy save made by Mike Ramsdell. Leaves it for Aldis, who wraps it around the board. Spanberg deflects it to center ice. Picked up there by Mahalski, the defenseman for Oswego. He dumps it back in the Massena zone. Aldis lost it in behind. Has it knocked away. Bounces to the blue line, though, and is picked up by Gladding. Long cross ice for Spanberg. Spanberg chasing it down in the corner. He's got it. Makes the move, trying to center it, knocked away. Puck bounces to the blue line. DeRocher's shot goes in behind. After it is Gladding in the corner from Massena, flips it. They try to get it back to the point. It comes to Aldis. Winds up, the shot deflected. And may have hit the goalie on the way through. Bounces in behind the net again. Here's Gladding after it in the corner. Gladding back to Aldis at the point. He winds up, then tries to slide it into the corner. Comes to Gladding. Gladding backhand pass knocked away. The bouncing puck comes in behind for Spanberg. Spanberg, a pass to himself in the corner. Here comes Josh. Circles, back to the point. The shot goes off a leg in behind. Back to the point again. Aldis this time flips it. Here comes Spanberg in front. Sharp side shot. Save as well. I don't think it was a save. I think it went off the defenseman. And the Buccaneers flip it. It goes up into the penalty box.
Again, you can see what their strategy. If Massena does gain the zone, Oswego back into that, we'll call it that tortoise defense. They try to take away the lanes in front of DeSantis, and which that does. It opens up the side, opens up the points. In fact, Chris Aldis probably had 5 occasions on that one shift to get a shot off at the net.
Trevor Cameron now against Siapa. Face off left side in the Oswego zone. 1-0 Raiders lead it on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Now Cameron gets tossed from the circle, and Mark Tyo, excuse me. Just thinking about Jeff. His team lost last night to Plattsburgh State. 10-5 was the score. But he had a great season. Here's Cameron stealing the puck in the corner. Trevor centers it, bounces away, and out to center ice. Here come the Buccaneers. Here comes Siapa trying to flip it ahead for Vashaw. Joy gets there to Tyo. Tyo bangs it to Cameron, and here comes Massena to LeBombard. LeBombard trying to step by the check. It's knocked off his stick, Siapa. To the blue line, it bounces by everybody. Comes all the way back in the Massena zone. Ramsdell leaves it for Frank Joy. Joy in behind his net. He skates by one check. Looks to move it ahead to Tyo. Tyo doesn't clear the zone. Kept in there. Here's a chance for Vashaw. Cranks it up. The save made by Ramsdell. Here comes Massena breaking out. LeBombard splits the D. Goes to Tyo. To LeBombard. It's knocked away. Cameron follows. Can't get the shot off. And the Buccaneers flip it out to center ice. But Cameron had gone into the net and knocked the net off its moorings. So we'll have a face-off at center ice.
Great job by number 13, Neil Pecor, who took the guy without the puck. A little give and go by the Raiders, and Trevor Cameron went without the puck, and it was just a great pass, but Pecor sensed that and intercepted it. Good job by number 13, Neil Pecor.
Matt Reed's line out now against the Ferguson line. Matt Reed.
I think this is a plus for the Raiders if Coach Long, and if he can just have his big line of Cameron line just neutralize the Oswego line of Siapa, he'll be happy.
Off the face-off, puck at center ice. DeRocher cranks it into the Buccaneer zone, rips into the corner. After it there is Terry, can't come up with it, cleared to center ice. In fact, it bounces all the way down the ice into the Massena zone. Chris Aldis back in after it, picks up the loose puck. Here's Aldis circling in his own end. Goes to DeRocher. DeRocher moves it ahead. Rat Reed by Bergeron. Here comes Reed across the blue line. He takes it in on the left side. Looks to pass. Fan on the pass had it knocked away. Brian Terry gets it back to Aldis, or tries to. Now goes to Reed in the corner. Reed, centering pass. Oh, deflected just wide by Bergeron. In the corner is Terry. Terry centers it. Knocked into the side of the net. In behind. It rips around the boards. Aldis on the fly. Fires it high and wide. Puck goes to Reed. Reed in the corner again. Centering pass. Bergeron's shot is blocked. by the defenseman. And again, that was Doty. Puck in the corner now. Bounces in behind again the net. Mahalski after it. Mahalski just flips it, doesn't get it out. DeRocher, we have a whistle. We're going to have a hit from behind on somebody. On Massena, I think Brian Terry is going to get the gate.
Brian's coming sheepishly towards the penalty box with his head down. That's a telltale sign. I didn't see it. I was watching the good play by Derek DeRocher, keeping the puck inside the zone, but down to the left of Jeff DeSantos. Number 12, B.J. Terry, took the Oswego player into the boards, hit from behind. Good job that time by the Oswego defense on both occasions. You mentioned Doty and also Michalski. Good job defensively.
Massena on the penalty kill now. Raiders lead it 1-0 in the second period on the Peace Jewelers scoreboard. Frank Joy rifles it into the zone, goes off a stick. Here comes Spanberg. Josh takes it in on the right side. Josh in the corner now, just looking to waste time, has it knocked off his stick by Siapa. Anthony Siapa, very fine forward, moving it ahead. Bauer goes to Dave Bashaw, and he overskates, has to come back for it. He's knocked off the puck by Chilton. It bounces free to Chilton. He wastes a little time, gets knocked down, has it knocked away. Here comes Bauer. He's knocked off the puck. Good defensive play, and that was Joy again making a nice play. Here comes Chili, taking it wide on the right side in the zone, has it knocked away. Bounces free, comes to Chilton again, trying to come up with it, but is poked away with 40 seconds left in the power play. Now they bounce it to the Massena line. Kenny Smith is there looking to waste some time. He winds up, fires it down the ice, and it trickles in on goal. DeSantis, he flips it ahead. Out to the blue line, picked up there by Dave Bashaw. Bashaw, the head man, to Siapa. Here comes Siapa across the blue line, winds up the shot. Big save by Mike Ramsdell. Puck bounces. Trevor Cameron picking it up, gets knocked down, but pokes it ahead to LeBombard. Here's LeBombard, staying with it, takes it in the zone, has it knocked off his stick. Back down the ice. Here comes Oswego across the blue line. Poke check by Kenny Smith, breaks it up. Trevor Cameron picks up the puck. 2 seconds left in the power play. Cameron gets hit from behind. There's going to be a penalty on Bashaw as he just railed into Trevor Cameron from behind. That'll be a boarding, I would guess.
Yes, it will, Jerry, I'm sure. But what a great save. You called it. Anthony Siapa came in from the top of the circle, and he was looking to the lower right hand, the stick side corner of Mike Ramsdell. He labeled it for that corner, and Rammer got out the right pad and made a save. And not long ago, he did the same thing against Dave Bashaw, big number 8, who drilled one, looking to that corner. That's where he wanted to shoot it, but Ramsdell again coming up with the big save. And
1-0. Raiders lead it here, and they go on the power play. Face off just outside the Massena zone. It was a hit from behind. It could have been either.
Mike Ramsdell is standing tall coming into tonight's game. A 1.93 goals against average.
Trevor Cameron to face off for Massena against Dan Dorsey. Cameron out there with a bombard and Tayo. Trevor wins the draw into the Massena zone. Here's DeRocher. Goes to Aldis. Aldis moves it ahead to the red line. Backhands it in the zone. It's knocked off the stick and dumped back down the ice. Into the Massena zone, it's Derek DeRocher. DeRocher with a puck in behind his own net. Going to leave it for the Panther. Trevor Cameron drops back for DeRocher. Moves it ahead for Aldis. Aldis overskates, has it knocked away, bounces on the Massena line. They got a man in front. Here's a shot. They fired it high and wide. That was Brian Lester. I think Lester was so surprised to come up with a puck that he just fired it high and wide. Here comes Tayo from Massena. Stick handling at the red line. Takes it across, winds it up. His shot is wide. Bounces back to LeBombard. He lets it go back to the point to Chris Aldis. Aldis to Cameron at the 45. Into Tayo. Tayo in front. LeBombard. Nice save by DeSantis on LeBombard. Was all by himself in front. Puck bounces and it's dumped down the ice by Oswego. Great chance for Massena. A great save for DeSantis.
All the way around. Exactly right. Raiders couldn't work it any better, but DeSantis just robbed them.
Here's Cameron flipping ahead for DeRocher. Back to Cameron. Here comes Trevor across the blue line. Steps by one. Flips it back to the point. Tayo is there. Tayo centers. LeBombard hit the side of the net. May have hit the goal post. It comes to the point and DeRocher. DeRocher has to flip it in the corner. Goes to Cameron behind the net. Looks to center. It's knocked off his stick. Comes to Tayo. Back to Cameron. Back to Tayo in the corner. Back to the point. Here's Aldis. Penalty up. Aldis cranks it up. The shot right on. The rebound to the blue line. And it's out to center ice. Dave Bashaw. Here comes Bashaw. In on Aldis. Aldis just bodies him into the corner. Puck goes in behind the net. We have a whistle. What do we got? a slashing call behind the play to Trevor Cameron.
Well, I was going to say, boy, I didn't see any violation down there. I'm looking to my right, the offensive zone of Oswego, and I guess 8 of the 10 players were down there, and I didn't see anything. This must have had to happen behind the play because I saw nothing. I thought he was going to call the net off the moorings, but...
So Massena has to kill another penalty here. Raiders lead it 1-0 on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Jason Chilton coming out.
Raiders have been successful killing the penalties off. In fact, in the last 5-6 games, the oppositions had 15 opportunities and unsuccessful in all 15. But another big challenge to meet right here.
Chilton wins the faceoff, takes it in behind, gets tied up, gets back up, moves it. Kenny Smith is there to help out. No, Chilton's going to take it to the other side. Trying to go to Joy. It pokes away. Comes to Bauer. Bauer has it knocked off his stick. Chilton whacks at it. And Joy as well. And it goes off Joy's stick up into the stands. And we'll have a face-off, or actually into the wall. Face-off in the Massena zone.
Again, anytime you all this line of Siapa, Vashon, Bauer, they are a threat at all times, especially when they have a man advantage. In the first game, Oswego had 3 power play advantages and scored on 2 of the 3 occasions. So they certainly are a threat.
Face-off left side Massena zone. Off the face-off, puck in the corner. After it is Jason Bauer. Side of the net, it's sprawling. Poke check breaks it up. That was Kenny Smith. Good play. Frankie Joy gets tied up in behind by Siapa. Joy stays with it. The puck's still moving along the boards. And where is it? It's still underneath Joy. Finally, he's knocked off the puck. Vashaw looks to center, but it's cleared into the corner. Now it bounces free. All the way back to the point. It's going to trickle out to center ice, as Pecor was kind of cheating to the right side, and he was out of position. Puck dumped back in the Massena zone. Kenny Smith gets there and dumps it down the ice with 40 seconds left in the power play. 1-0 Massena on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Raiders make penalty-killing changes. Tayo is out there as the puck comes to Frank Joy, and he cranks it up. Down the ice again, goes again. LeBombard, the other penalty killer. And LeBombard almost intercepted a pass. Coming back after it is Pecor. He flips it in behind. Dave Doty with it. Long headman pass, bounces by everybody, goes into the Massena zone. There's a race for it. DeRocher gets there, and Aldis. Aldis overskated, though. The puck comes to Vashaw. Vashaw looks to go back to the point to Pecor. Pecor winds. His shot tricks right on. They score on the rebound. Anthony Siapa gets the goal with 2 seconds left on the power play, and Oswego has tied it up here, 1-1 tie. The save made initially by Ramsdell, but he left the rebound right in front, and Siapa was there to poke it over his shoulder.
Exactly, Jerry.
So we're tied at 1. A power play goal for Oswego. And it's a 1-1 hockey game here with 6:58 left in period number 2. Matt Reed's lined out for Massena. Bergeron and Terry are the wingers. It's going to be Asenzi's line, Brian Lester and Dan Dorothy. Off the faceoff, puck back in the Oswego zone. Pecor picked up an assist. Puck bounces back out to center ice. Terry turns it around, bounces to Bergeron. Bergeron chasing it down in the corner. Here's Bergeron in behind the net. Looks to wrap, gets the backhander on, the save made by DeSantis. As Matt Reed had fallen down, so Bergeron didn't have anybody to pass it to, so he took it around in front and got a backhander off.
The time of the Oswego goal, 8:02 mark, was on a power play. Anthony Siapa from Neil Pecor. And the Buccaneers have tied this game up, and Siapa made no mistake on that rebound, parked in front. Ramsdell didn't have a chance. Tough shot from the point he couldn't control.
Off the face-off. Terry right in front. It's poked away. To the blue line. DeRocher keeps it in. Gets a shot. Deflected down in front. And Asenzi grabs it. And Bergeron ends up in the net.
Fans are somewhat incensed. Number 19. I think it's number 9. I got to pick up the number. See,
it's going to be a penalty.
After the fact, the official did not signal the penalty. We'll have to credit the fans with that one because he was right on the spot. It's number 18, Ben Michalowski, who's going to pick up the penalty. Well after the whistle, he pushed the Massena player into the pile-up in front of DeSantos, and I think the crowd helped out on that one.
No question. So the face-off will come inside Oswego territory. Massena goes back on the power play with 6:32 left. Second period, we're all tied at 1 on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Mikalski getting the charge. No, hit after the whistle. Chilton out there with Gladding and Spanberg. Chilton wins it. Goes back to the point, Aldis. Aldis Goes through. Chilton winds up his shot and save made by Asensi. It may have been a little high, but he got the glove on it. Here comes Derek DeRocher in deep, in behind. Looking to move it to Chilton. It takes a funny bounce, but Chilton stays with it, and he's got it. Here's Chile in the corner. It goes for Gladding. Gladding in behind, gets tied up, but stays with it again. Gladding now circling around. Takes it in front. Here's the shot by Spanberg. It's blocked, goes high in the air. Puck cleared into the corner. Goes back to the point. Aldis winds up his shot. Just wide. Rebound. Gladding trying to move it in front. Bounces free. Comes to Chilton. Chilton trying to center it. Comes back to him at the 45. Here's Chilton circling. Gets by one. Gives it. Gets it back again. Can't get the shot off. And the puck bounces to the blue line. And it's kept in by DeRocher. Here's Spanberg trying to get the shot off. Knocked down. It's cleared down the ice. And racing after it will be Vashaw as the puck comes in behind. And Aldis will get there first. Aldis has it knocked away. Bounces. It comes to DeRocher. And DeRocher's made a couple of good plays here. About 19 seconds left in the power play. Here comes Chilton across the blue line. Gets the shot. The save made by DeSantis. Puck bouncing into the corner now. Chilton is there digging for it along with Spanberg. Moves it back to DeRocher. DeRocher, cross-ice pass. The shot on the fly is blocked as Aldis took it. We got a mini 2-on-1, but Massena gets back. Puck in front. Here's a chance. And the save is made by Ramsdell as Massena a little bit of a problem. Now should be a penalty on Oswego. It is. And Massena still controls. They flip it ahead to Gladding. Gladding stays with it. He still got it in the zone. Finally, Oswego touches it. And the Raiders will go right back on the power play.
Josh Spanberg looks to be in some pain down there. He's bent over, making his way to the Raider bench. Hopefully it's just the wind and not a shoulder injury, but he's taking his spot on the bench, so I have a feeling it is just a bit of the wind knocked out of him. But Raiders going to go on a power play here with 4:43 left in the second period. We have a 1-1 hockey game.
Face-off will be just inside the Oswego zone. Hooking the call. Cameron, Tayo, and LeBombard.
Neil Pecor has had a fine game for the Buccaneers up to this point. In fact, he led a rush, just came within an eyelash of putting Oswego up by one just a second before that penalty.
Here's the face-off in the zone. Puck kicked into the corner. Racing in after it is Doty. Doty in behind his net. He's taken out of the play by LeBombard. Puck bounces to Cameron. Cameron stays with it and gets away from the check. Here's Cameron into the circle. Turns it around. Goes to LeBombard. LeBombard back to Cameron at the 45. Massena looking to set up the power play. Cameron skates it into the corner. Rips it around the boards. Joy will have to rush to keep it in. He can't. Joy has to chase it back out to center ice. Frankie Joy rips it back around the boards. After it in the corner is Tayo. Tayo trying to center it toward the net. Goaltender trying to clear the zone. Kept in by Joy nicely. He flips the puck in behind, but it's picked up there by Siapa. Rips it around the boards. Kenny Smith keeps it in. Flips it. LeBombard to Kenny Smith. He can't get the shot off. Here's Smith with it. Back to the blue line. Kept in by LeBombard momentarily. Now Cameron keeps it in. Trying to flip it into the corner, but it's knocked away. Dumped out to center ice. And down the ice it goes. 1-1 tie hockey game. 30 seconds left in the Massena power play. Joy in behind his net. Leaves it for Cameron. Here comes Trevor with it. Drops it for Frank Joy. Joy the head man. Kenny Smith. He lets it go for LeBombard. He backhands it in the zone. Rips in behind. Ferguson is there. Loses it to Tayo. Here's Tayo in behind the net. Stick handling. Goes to Cameron. Trevor looks. Centers it. Hit the side of the net. Gets it back. Centers it again. Knocked away. Kenny Smith wraps one. Goes wide into the corner. Tayo with it. 2 seconds left in the power play. Tayo circles. Takes it in front. Trying to get the backhander off. Centers it. Bounces around. Who's got it? Cameron. He can't control it. It's cleared to the blue line out to center ice. Joy dumps it back in the zone. And Massena wants a line change here. They got a trailer, Vashaw, right at the Massena blue line. They try to feed it through, but it's going to be a whistle, and offsides will be called on Oswego. 1-1 tie hockey game here on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard with 2:53 left in period number 2.
Again, a good job by Oswego killing that penalty when the Raiders gain the zone. The four blue shirts pack it down inside. Massena's got to counter that by coming back to the point a little more often, because the guy up on top of that umbrella is wide open. And when he brings it back there, then those two guys down low have got to converge in front of that net and screen and create some traffic in front of DeSantos.
Off the face-off. Puck bounces to center ice. Aldis. He flips it in the zone. Bouncing in behind the net. After it there is Mahalski. Rips it around the boards. Bounces free to the blue line, and DeRocher can't keep it in. He's going to have to chase it down at his own blue line. Here's Derek DeRocher. Goes to Chris Aldis. Aldis looking. Move it ahead. Gladding. He backhands it. In the zone it goes. Around the boards. Here's Pecor with it. Trying to flip it. And it bounces to the blue line. Kept in. We're going to have a hand pass called by DeRocher.
Good call. Yeah, Derek DeRocher got up above the helmet. He wasn't sure where it was, but he was able to knock it down, and it went right to his teammate. So good call by the official.
2:22 left in the second period. Tie hockey game, 1-1 tie here on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Massena, Oswego in a New York State Division I quarterfinal game.
And if you're
off
not
the face, right in the crowd.
If you're not on your edge of the seat for this one, you better check your pulse because it's it's got a lot of excitement.
It's a good hockey game thus far. Face off again. Will be just outside the Oswego zone. In the circle. Off the draw, puck just inside the zone. Back out again. Comes to Derek DeRocher. He rips it back in the Oswego zone to Pecor. Pecor for Oswego. They got a man trying to break, and they get it to the Massena blue line. Gladding is there trying to knock it away from Vashaw. The puck bouncing around. It's underneath Gladding. He gets up and moves it out to center ice. Here comes Chilton with Spanberg. Chili takes it across. Gets tied up, stays with it, and he still got it. Chilton flips it to Spanberg. Here's Spanberg in behind the net. Now he looks to move it around behind. Spanberg centers it. Comes in front. Chilton pulls the trigger. Not a very hard one. Here's Gladding digging for it. It bounces away. And Oswego moves it out to center ice. Dave Vashaw across the blue line. Aldis takes him out of the play. DeRocher picks up the puck. Massena goes back the other way. Here's Gladding faking to go across. He'll turn it the other way. And he overskated. Now he flips it in the zone right back out again. To the Massena line. Bounces to Dave Vashaw. He and Aldis go together. Vashaw tries to center, but nobody there as they were changing lines. Brian Terry with it. Terry trying to flip it ahead to the Massena line. Knocked away. Bounces back to him. He goes to Reed. Reed fires it in the zone. In behind the net. Brian Terry after it. Here's Terry. Steps by the check. Here's Terry. He's got it in front. Reed, the shot. Score! Matt Reed on a beautiful feed from Brian Terry. And the Raiders take the lead 2-1 right through the 5-hole.
Matt Reed is going to pick up the goal, but I'll tell you, B.J. Terry, what an outstanding job he did. He went into the corner, and he's a big, tough, rugged one, 6 foot 165, and he really works those corners exceptionally well. He went into the corner to the right of DeSantos. Doug took a hit, dug the puck out, came out with it, turned, looked like he was going to go behind the net, but he saw Matt Reed parked out in the slot, put it right on his stick, and Matt made no mistake and put it right between the legs of DeSantos.
So Massena takes the lead on a score of 2-1 here on the Pete scoreboard. Comes to the Massena line. Across the blue line it goes. Controlled by the Buccaneers. They get a shot on from long range. The save is made by goaltender Ramsdell. Puck comes in front. Here comes Kenny Smith leading the attack. Smith, he can dangle with it. Here comes Smith, gets by the check, trying to slide it through. Here's Bergeron, the backhander, and it goes wide in behind the net. As Kenny Smith turned on the speed right there. Puck back out to center ice. Matt Reed is there to steal it. Takes it across, and he's knocked off the puck. And it comes free. Here comes Oswego. Dan Dorsey with it from the blue line. His shot is blocked. Comes to Bergeron, to Reed. Reed over skates, and it's dumped back in the Massena zone. Frankie Joy is there, looks up ice. Flips it ahead to Tayo. Tayo just backhands it. Dumped back in the Massena. That didn't even make it down the ice. It goes up into the crowd.
4 seconds left in this second period, and the go-ahead goal, his 7th of the year. That fine freshman, Matt Reed, an assist from B.J. Terry. But I'll tell you, B.J. should pick up a couple assists on that one. Did yeoman's work in the corner, muscled off the Oswego player, put it out to Matt Reed, and Reeder didn't make any mistake. A one-timed it right between the legs of Jeff DeSantos.
4 seconds left in the period. Second period, Raiders lead at 2-1 on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Trevor Cameron out to take the draw against Anthony Siapa.
This place is really rocky, and I'll tell you, check the foundation after this game.
Cameron takes the draw. It bounces free with 2 seconds left. Kenny Smith clears it down the ice as the buzzer sounds. And so the Raiders score one here to move ahead again after Oswego had tied it up on the power play. We played 2 periods of high school hockey, and the Massena Red Raiders are leading Oswego on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard 2-1. Our broadcast this evening on WMSA is brought to you by Phil's Tavern, 20 Main Street in Massena, by KM Travel Connections, located at 252 East Orvis Street in Massena, by Bleachers Sports Bar, Route 37 across from the St. Lawrence Center, by the Village Engraver, 80 Parker Avenue in Massena, by Tiffany's Restaurant, 46 Main Street, Massena, also by Paris Excavating and Paris Environmental Control Corporation on the Massena.
Larry Legault and Billy Foster. Larry from Louisville and Billy here in Massena. But I've seen some OT this year, but the Raiders clinging to a 1-goal lead and a very exciting first 2 periods, and I expect this third one is going to be just as exciting.
2-1 our score here after 2 periods. Of course, you might remember last Saturday, Massena went into the third period tied at 0-0. So the Raiders are used to playing close games the last couple of games. We're about ready to go here.
And it's that same matchup. It's the Asensi line against the Jason Chilton line.
Yep.
And this has been definitely a plus for Massena.
We're about ready to go here. Off the face-off, the puck controlled by the Buccaneers. They try to flip it ahead and just dump it in the Massena zone, and already the whistle blows and icing will be the call. So the face-off will move back inside Buccaneer territory.
Speaking of face-offs, Raiders coming up with a 59% in the first period. Didn't fare so well in that second period, operating at only a 40% success ratio. So that's unusual to see that.
Off the draw, puck in the circle, controlled by the Raiders. Spanberg trying to drop it. Chilton's shot is wide. Puck bounces. DeSantis, the goalie, clears it into the corner. Chile is there, flips it in behind for Gladding. Gladding looks to center, goes all the way back to DeRocher at the point. He keeps it in, flips it in the corner, intercepted. Bounces back to Rocher, keeps it in again, flips it in the corner. This time it goes in behind the net. Dave Doty with it. Doty bounces it to the blue line, and the Buccaneers move it out to center ice. Mike Asensi shoots one in from center, bounces. Here's a sharp angle shot, fanned on. Raiders pick it up. Headman, Chilton. Chilton busting. Here comes Chile with Gladding. Flips it through to Gladding in front, the shot, and it's high over the net. And I think DeSantis got a piece of it to deflect it high over the net. But that went bang, 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 and Gladding got a good chance.
Jerry, you said high over the net. It certainly was. That one hit about, I'd say, 25 to 30 feet up on the screen, up over the top of John DeSantos. But a good rush that time by Derek Gladding and Jason Chilton.
2-1 Massena leading on the Corky scoreboard. Cameron's line out there against the Siapa line. Massena wins the draw. Frankie Joy with it, wraps it around the boards into the Oswego zone. Comes to Brian LeBombard. Stick handles in behind. LeBombard with it, tried to pass. He fanned on the pass, but stays. Here's LeBombard, stick handling in front, has it knocked off his stick and bounced out to center ice by defenseman Doty. Massena right back in the zone it goes. In behind the net, around the boards, Tayo with it, stepping by the check. Here's Tayo in behind, it bounces away. Picked up by Ferguson. Ferguson, headman out to center ice, comes to the Massena line. Joy is there, has it knocked away. Frankie Joy with it. He gets tied up by Vashaw. He stays in the corner, trying to kick it ahead. Bangs it ahead to LeBombard, to Tayo, or to Cameron. Here's Trevor. He's upended as he comes into the zone. The puck picked up by Siapa. Siapa dropping it to Doty. Doty moves it ahead for Jason Bauer. Bauer across the blue line, wafts one in, and the save is made by Ramsdell. Tayo picks up the loose puck and starts out. Mark Tayo from Massena. Headman goes by everybody. It's going to trickle right in on goal. The puck cleared back down the ice by the goalie. That'll be an icing on the goalie. As DeSantis saw Massena in the middle of a line change, he tried to fire it to Brian Lester, but it was ahead of him, and down the ice it goes, and icing the call.
Heads-up play by goalie Jeff DeSantos, only a junior, and as you call it, Raiders were changing all 5. DeSantos had the puck. He saw number 20, Lester, come off the bench, and I'll tell you, he didn't miss him by much, and if he would have connected, Lester was in home free. Great play by DeSantos.
Reed's line out there for Massena. Reed wins the draw, goes to DeRocher. DeRocher flips it into the corner. Rips in behind for Brian Terry. Terry goes to Bergeron. Bergeron gets tied up. Terry whacks at it, can't control it, and it's out to center ice. Stopped by Aldis, turns it around and wraps it off the glass. It rides the puck boards, and Bergeron chases in after it, flips it to himself behind the net. Here's Bergeron, looks to wrap. The short side shot, the save is made. The puck goes in behind. Bergeron still has it. Here's Bergeron trying to backhand this time. It's knocked off his stick. And out to center ice, it's Lester. Lester with it. Takes it in on the off wing. Into the Massena zone and just flips it in behind the net. Puck bouncing to Bergeron. He's going to wrap it around the other way for Brian Terry. Terry turns it. Looks up ice. Has it knocked away. Has to come back for it again. This time he bangs it ahead. It bounces by everybody into the Oswego zone. DeSantis way out of his net to clear it in behind as the teams are making some changes here. And we have a whistle. We're going to have, I think they're going to have penalties right in front of the benches.
Is it too many men? I'm not sure. He's the official. He's calling the interference. Interference call against one of the Raider players. They felt that he interfered with Dan Dorsey. And it looks like it's going to be B.J. Terry. Captain Chilton is coming to question the official, but it looks like B.J. Terry is the culprit.
So Massena will be killing a penalty here with 12 minutes even left in the third period. On the Corky scoreboard, it's 2-1 Massena.
That's a tough call, Jerry, because both teams were changing over there, and it looks like the Santa Monica Freeway sometimes, and it's tough to make that type of a call and interference there. I think B.J. was just trying to get off.
Off the face-off. The puck bouncing at the blue line. And here comes Oswego. Down the ice, it's Pecor. He flips it right on, the save made. And the puck bounces down the ice off the stick of Chris Aldis. Flipped ahead by the goalie, DeSantis. Pass bouncing around at the blue line, picked up by Siapa. Siapa the Bashaw, he fires it wide. Puck whips around the boards, Jason Chilton. Pokes it ahead to center ice. Here comes Spanberg, has it taken away by Bashaw. Nice back checking there. Flips it ahead to the Massena line. Siapa, his pass intercepted. Chili, he flips it down the ice. About 50 seconds left in the power play for Oswego. Dave Doty with it, around the boards. He goes to Jason Bauer. Bauer starts out right side. He can dangle with it. Flips it ahead for Bashaw. Here comes Dave Bashaw in on the off wing. He's got him breaking. He fires it right on. Rammer makes the save and holds on for the faceoff.
Harmless little shot, a looking shot from about 45 feet out, but Rammer was figuring, kind of guessing the shot was going to go to his left, started to lean left, had to come back with the right pad, made the pad save, but then wasn't sure where the puck was, and it was lying right at his feet, but he put the big mitt on it.
36 seconds left in the power play for Oswego. 2-1 Massena on the Corky scoreboard. We're in the third period. Off the faceoff, puck sits in the circle, bounces into the corner. Kenny Smith gets a piece of it, moves it in behind, bounces high in the glass. It's right on the dasher board now, and Joy trying to move it off the dasher board. And no, he didn't move it off the dasher board. It stayed up there, and the whistle blows, and we'll have another faceoff.
But again, a smart move by Frank Joy. He up on the dasher. All he did, he just defended the puck. He wouldn't allow the Oswego player to get in there, and it ticked off 4 or 5 more seconds.
Bashaw against Cameron. Face-off this time on the left side. No, they're going to toss Cameron from the circle and move LeBombard in. Seen a lot of that this year. Off the face, the quick shot. Right off the face-off, and LeBombard didn't do his job that time, but Massena clears it down the ice. Of course, Brian not used to taking face-offs, and he allowed the shot to come right off the face-off. 10 seconds. Here comes Oswego breaking into the zone. Here's Jason Bauer with it, trying to drop it back. The shot right across the goal mouth, deflects in front. I think it went off a Massena defenseman. Still bouncing in the slot. Finally, it's cleared into the corner. Frankie Joy whacks at it, bounces it to center ice. Penalty has elapsed. And it trickles through Pecor's legs back into the Oswego zone. He's got the Panther on him, but he skates by him, flips it to center ice. Into the Massena zone, it's Bashaw again, breaking in. Joy takes him out of the play, picks the puck up in behind the net. Frankie Joy on it, kind of lost it. Puck goes to the side of the net, but it's deflected away, and Massena breaks it out. Here comes Brian LeBombard, passing it in the zone, across the blue line, knocked away at the last second by Brian Lester. He bounces it out to center ice. Hard check thrown by Aldis. Puck bounces into the Oswego zone, picked up by Pecor. Neil Pecor has it knocked away by Spanberg. There's going to be a penalty. Massena's got the puck. Here's Tayo with it. Centering pass in front, deflected just wide. The save is made, and the Raiders go on the power play. Great save by DeSantis.
Number 13, Neil Pecor, trying to pick up the slack that Tommy Masters not here tonight. He's a big one, and he's had a fine game tonight. You'd think he's all tuckered out, but all of a sudden he jumps into the rush. He's an offensive defenseman. That time he made the cardinal mistake, last man back, tried to get cute with it, and he was stripped by the Raider player right here just over the blue line, and he had to reach back and put the hook on him. So with 9:35 left to go in this hockey game, Massena up 2-1. Raiders going on a power play.
Raiders have yet to get a power play goal here tonight. This would be an excellent place to get one.
It certainly would, I'll tell you. And they've been hard, few and far between, and for the Raiders to come by, they're looking like 3 out of the last 23 opportunities, Jerry.
Off the face-off. Aldis with it. Aldis flips it into the Oswego zone, rips in behind the net. Puck ripped around the boards, kept in there. Spanberg drops it back to the point. DeRocher back to Spanberg, into 45, back to DeRocher, goes to Aldis, fakes the shot, flips it to Chili at the 45 other side. Here's Chilton, cross-ice pass. DeRocher gets the shot off, it's blocked, and the Buccaneers do not clear it. Yeah, they do clear it. Just trickled over to center ice. Comes to Aldis. Aldis moving it ahead, bounced away up into the bench, and we'll have a face-off at center. 8:59 left, third period, 54 seconds left in the Massena power play. Raiders lead it on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, 2-1.
Talk about telegraphing passes. You can't do that. The Raiders telegraphed that one, and number 9, Dave Dottie, stepped up and almost picked that off to go in home free.
Off the face-off, puck dumped. Oswego zone comes right on net. Bounces to Gladding. Gladding to Chilton at the 45, back to the point. Aldis, back to Chili. Chili steps into the circle. His shot deflected in front. Bouncing around to clear it into the corner. Poked and is controlled by the Buccaneers. They come down 2-on-1. Breaking into the zone is Dan Dorsey on Aldis. Dorsey shot, save made. Aldis, good play to make him shoot. And the net's knocked off its mooring, so the faceoff will be in the Massena zone.
2-on-1, and both the goaltender, Mike Ramsdell and Chris Aldis, played it just the way you have to play it. Chris stayed in the middle as long as he could, then left the shooter to the goaltender, and he took the guy that could go without the puck, and he left the shooter after he forced him to an angle, and Mike Ramsdell and he were on the same wavelength. Rammer came out, cut the angle, took a lot away, and made the save.
Trevor Cameron out there with his line on the power play. Face off in the Massena zone. Asenzi out to kill. Massena moves it to the blue line, but Oswego controls it at center ice. Here's Bashaw with it. He just flips it right on. Rammer has to make the save, and not an easy one. Kind of a bouncer from center ice.
None of them are easy at this stage of the season, Jerry.
There you go. Here comes Kenny Smith now. Ahead to Tayo, to Cameron. Trevor takes it across, feeds it to LeBombard, right through the middle, has it knocked away. Kenny Smith racks it up. The save, or I think it was blocked by the D. Comes to the blue line, Smith again. Blocked by the D. They bounce it out to center ice. They got a man busting in. That's Bashaw, breaks away. He shot, the save by Ramsdell. Oh, there's a huge one. And the whistle didn't blow. It's just the crowd noise. Massena clears it to center ice. Here's Mark Tayo with it. Ahead to LeBombard. Across the blue line. LeBombard has it knocked away. Puck in the corner. Mike Ramsdell makes the big save. The puck back out to center ice. Here comes Oswego again. Across the blue line. Stolen away by Joy. Joy flips it to the Oswego line. Bounces back to the Massena line. Kenny Smith ahead to Tayo. Tayo ahead to Cameron. Cameron gets knocked down from behind. The puck bounces free, comes to Kenny Smith. Here's Smith with it. Has it poked away. Here's a chance for Bauer. His shot, he scores! Oswego has tied it up with 7:13 left in the third period. Couple of giveaways by Massena finally came back to haunt him.
Jason Bauer just cranked one up from about 40 feet out and just overpowered Mike Ramsdell. Rammer had just made a great save prior to that on number 8, Dave Bashaw, got in behind, came out of the penalty box, got in behind the Raider defense, and that time, again, Bauer stole it, intercepted a pass, went in, and Mike Ramsdell Chris Aldis was cutting him off. He threw about a 40-footer, Mike Rammer on the short side.
The puck into the zone of Oswego, and it bounced up over the glass and comes right back out, and one of the fans throws it back. We're tied at 2 here on the Corky scoreboard with 7:05 left in the third period.
Crucial next 30, 40 seconds for the Raiders. tough giving up a goal. Tying goal with 7 minutes left in the hockey game, but they've got to bounce back. They have all year. And again, not faulting the rammer. That was a tough shot that just blew by on the short side. He was partially screened.
Bouncing puck comes into the Massena zone. Racing in after it, Siapa. Siapa centers it, but it comes to Brian Terry. He bangs it out to center ice. Here comes Massena back the other way. Bergeron. Bergeron ahead. Here comes Reed, gets by the check. Matt Reed looks to center. He's knocked off the puck, but stays with it. Here's Reed in behind. He's got a man at the point. All the shot deflected wide. Bounces to DeRocher. He winds it up. Knocked down in front. Goes in behind now. Back to the point. Aldis again. Fakes it. Flips it through in front to Reed. Back to DeRocher. His shot is blocked. Comes right to Reed. Reed gets tied up. Knocked down. Bouncing puck. Oswego clears it to center ice, but there's a penalty on Oswego. And Massena will go on the power play again with 6:23 left in the third period.
Tremendous amount of pressure by that Matt Reed, Sebastian Bergeron, and B.J. Terry line. They were matched up against the Oswego big line, and they certainly more than held their own. In fact, they were applying all kinds of pressure. Oswego bunching back inside of their goaltender, and the Raiders were able to kept feeding it back to the point to Chris Aldis and driving it through traffic, hitting skates, hitting bodies. Finally, Oswego had to relieve the pressure, came up with a penalty, and I think it's going to be hooking. It is, and it looks like it's going to be on number 8, Jason, or number 6, Jason Bauer. We'll get the number. We had the name right, but not the number.
Oswego wants a timeout right here. Tied at 2, 6:23 left in the third period.
I'll tell you, you couldn't get much more excitement than this.
We've seen some exciting games this year. This is one of them, no doubt about it. The Raiders had the 2-1 lead coming into the third period. The Buccaneers have tied it up on a great shot by Bauer, and now he's in the penalty box.
Jason Bauer, to recap that, just prior to that, Ramsdell had made a great save on Dave Bashaw, who came out of the penalty box and went in home free from the center ice, and Rammer just stoned him with a great save. Bashaw tried to go to the backhand, put the deke on. This time, Bauer got the puck intercepted a clearing pass. Raiders were trying to go D to D. He picked it off, and he crossed the blue line, and Chris Aldis was coming in from the weak side, putting some pressure on. He elected from about 40, 45 feet out to crank one up, and he really put a lot on it. And Rammer gave him just a little bit on the short side. I think he got a little of the pad on it too, Jerry, but it just was such a powerful shot. Caught the corner of the pad and right into the short side.
Massena coming out with a new power play contingent here. Reed's line out there. 1,430. 1,430. What a crowd.
Great crowd.
Terry will take the face-off. Terry, Bergeron, and Reed on the power play. Off the face-off right up into the stands. They'll do it again.
Well, I'll tell you, they were holding their own.
And some
against the big line of Oswego. So Coach Long said, hey, let's go. Continue the show. We'll give you a little more time. Let's see if you can put us up by 1.
Off the face-off. Here's Reed with it. Out by the blue line. Circles around. Flips it through to Terry. Terry gets tied up. The puck kept in by Reed. He turns it into the corner. Here's Reed. Back to the point. Aldis winds up. His shot deflected. The save made, I think. And the puck bounces to center ice. Controlled by DeRocher. He flips ahead for Matt Reed. Reed across the blue line. Here's Reed trying to drop to Terry. Knocked away. Down the ice it goes in the Massena zone. Aldis with a minute left in the power play picks it up. Aldis with it tied 2-2. Massena on the power play leaves it for Matt Reed. Here's Reed. Long headman pass to Bergeron. He flips it in the zone. Massena clears, and the puck comes free to Doty. Down the ice it goes. It comes to Bashaw at the blue line. He takes it across, gets by the defense, and Ramsdell out of the net to poke it in the corner. Gets it back again. Bouncing puck. It goes in behind the net. Aldis with it. Flips it around for Bergeron. 30 seconds left in the power play. Here's Bergeron. Headman to Terry. Leaves it for Reed. Reed across the blue line. Here's Reed trying to kick it free. Puck bounces around the other side. And it comes back to Bergeron out by the blue line. He goes to Reed. Reed looks, winds. His shot hits Terry in the back. Here's Terry coming out of the corner. He looks, winds up. His shot hit the goalpost. And the puck cleared to the blue line and down the ice. And that'll take care of the power play. And here comes Kenny Smith with a puck in his own end. We're down to 4:48. Headman to Chili. Chili has it knocked off his stick. Here's a quick shot. Ramsdell makes the save. Chile picks up the rebound in behind the net, starts out. Here's Jason Chilton. Long head man to Spanberg. Spanberg trying to pass it ahead. He gets knocked off the puck. It comes to Doty. Doty flipping it ahead for Pecor. He just bangs it to center ice. Aldis trying to move it ahead to Chilton. Chilton across into the corner, goes after it. Doty is there, though. Doty and Chilton. Chilton takes him into the boards. The puck comes free to Spanberg. Josh with the puck now has it knocked off his stick. It bounces to the blue line and out to center ice. Aldis from Massena. From the red line in the zone, Massena clears, and the puck comes in behind for Dave Doty. Here's Doty with it. Moving it ahead. Intercepted by Kenny Smith. Smith has to wait. Flips it to Chilton. Chilton just shovels it inside Oswego territory. Under 4 minutes to play, tied at 2 on the Corky scoreboard as the puck comes out to center ice. Picked up by Frank Joy. Joy's pass is knocked away. Here comes Bauer with it, but he's knocked off the puck. Puck bouncing in front. Kenny Smith breaks it up. Goes to Joy, drops it back to Smith. Here comes Smith with it. Moving it ahead to center ice. Kenny Smith leading the attack across the blue line. He drops it through the middle, but it's knocked away. It comes out to center ice. Trevor Cameron flips it back across the line. Massena clears. Oswego dumps it down the ice. That's got to be an icing call against the Buccaneers. It is. And the faceoff will move back in Oswego territory. We're tied at 2 with 3:17 remaining in period number 3.
Coach Sears definitely shortened his bench. That third unit has not seen the ice this period, Jerry. The Raiders have been going with 3 lines. In fact, last period, I think they've only saw the ice once, maybe twice at the most. Just one time they were out there for 1 minute and 5 seconds. That's all.
Now the crowd making some noise as Trevor Cameron gets ready to take the faceoff against Anthony Siapa. Off the draw, puck in the corner, controlled by Pecor, and he fires it up into the stand. So we'll do it again.
Number 13, Neil Pecor. He's the most nonchalant defenseman you'll want to see. He's like he's in for a stroll in the park, but he's been a tower of power for Oswego out there tonight. Has really handed out some stiff body checks.
Trevor Cameron again against Siapa. Face-off in the zone, picked up by Tayo. Can't get the shot up. Now he does. It's blocked. Cameron banging at it. He can't get a shot up. Comes back to the blue line, kept in momentarily by Tayo. Now it's knocked out to center ice. Bashaw into the Massena zone. Slides one bouncing in front. Comes back to the blue line. Here's a shot by Pecor high over the net. Bounces into the corner. Here's Tayo. Headman gets to center ice. Cameron chasing it down. Pecor's there. Flips it to the Massena line. Aldis cross ice pass. Intercepted. Here comes Bashaw across. Slides it through. Intercepted. Derek DeRocher from Massena. Ahead it goes to LeBombard, back to DeRocher. He gets tied up, goes to Cameron in front, shot, save, rebound, cleared. Back to the blue line. Tayo turns it around. His shot is blocked. Pecor can't clear it. Comes back to Tayo again. He flips it to Aldis. Aldis trying to center it. Bounces off a leg into the corner. And finally, Bashaw just rifles it up into the Oswego bench. I think he got the assistant coach with that one. And the faceoff will come back inside Oswego territory.
Derek DeRocher intercepting a pass just inside his own blue line. Led a 2-on-1 rush up the ice. The Raiders gained the blue line and put all kinds of pressure on the Oswego end. And Oswego really shaking right now. I'm not saying they're out of gas, but I'll tell you, going with that 2 lines, the tank has to be getting close to empty.
Face off right side, Oswego zone. Reed's line out there. Off the draw, puck side of the net. Ripped around the boards by Doty. Stopped by Joy. His shot is blocked. It comes to B.J. Terry. He wraps it in behind. Goalie out of his net. It hits the side of the net. As Bergeron saw that, tried to center it, but he hit the side of the net. And the Buccaneers move it out to center ice. Here comes Oswego dumping it in the Massena zone. Comes in behind, but offsides will be called, I believe. And the faceoff will move outside the zone.
Brian Lester, only 5'7", 155, but he can motor. He, along with Asenzi and Dorsey, again, not big. They're 3 scat bugs, but Coach Sear just going with that line and the Siapa line.
Reed's line out from Massena. Off the draw. Bouncing puck controlled by the Raiders. Go back to Kenny Smith to Frank Joy. Joy skates it. His pass intercepted, but Bergeron's there to knock it ahead. Goes to Reed. Here comes Matt Reed. Backhander deflected right on by the defenseman. The puck cleared around after the save. Reed in the corner now. Goes to Terry, knocked off his stick. Back the other way. comes Neil Pecor across the blue line. It's knocked away. Back, not out though. Here's a chance for Oswego, but Frankie Joy throws a hard check, and the whistle had already blown apparently.
Yeah, you can't hear. There's so much noise in here. The crowd right on the edge of their seats, screaming and yelling. It's very, very difficult to hear those whistles, and it was just an offside by a fraction. But Frankie Joy has a good, smart move, not taking any chances. He saw the Oswego player with the puck, and he wasn't sure if he heard the whistle, so he put a lick on him.
1:27 left. Chilton out there against Siapa. Off the faceoff. Puck back in the Massena zone. Derek DeRocher after it. Here's DeRocher picking it up in his own end. Starts it out. Comes to Spanberg. Has it knocked away. Follows it, though. Takes it across. Here's Spanberg trying to flip it in the corner. Nobody there. But Pecor, he flips it in behind. Bounces free, and Gladding picks it up. Here's Gladding. Centering pass. Chilton deflected right out. Big save. Big save by DeSantis.
Oh, was that a big save? Derek Gladding picking up the puck in the corner to the right of DeSantos, spun around and threw it out in front, and Jason Chilton just put the stick on it, redirected it on the backhand side. Looked like it was heading for the wide open left side. DeSantis leaped across and grabbed it with the left hand.
Face off right side, off the draw. Puck ripped around the boards by the Buccaneers, and that's going to go all the way down the ice and be an icing call against Oswego.
Again, Oswego doing the smart thing here. Unless they've got it clean, unless they feel they can come out clean with just 55 seconds left to go, they're a little tired right now. They're just running it out of there, and they're willing to take the icing.
Face off right side. 55 seconds left. 2-2 tie on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Third period action here at the Massena Arena. Off the face-off, puck bounces to the blue line. Aldous winds it up, flips it in behind. Here's Gladding with it, trying to go to Spanberg, but it's knocked away. Puck bounces to center ice. Chris Aldous trying to flag it down. He does at his own blue line. Here's Aldous, headman to Gladding. Gladding has it knocked away, comes to the Massena line, back ahead, and it's flipped across the blue line, and the whistle blows. Offsides?
Offside.
Oh, it hit the bench. Okay, it went up in the bench. I didn't think it was offsides. It went up into the Oswego bench on the way through.
Number 10, Dan Dorsey, who was coming to center between this line of Vashon Bauer. He normally plays on the right side on the Senzi line. Must be excellent at the faceoff. Coach Sears sent him out there to win that last faceoff, and he won it cleanly.
35 seconds remaining in the third period. 2-2 tie. Off the draw. Puck just across the blue line, back out to center ice. Here's Tayo, waits for his wings, flips it in the corner. Bounces in behind the net. Comes to the blue line, kept in at the point, momentarily back out to center ice. Aldous flipping it ahead for Cameron, has it knocked away. Here's Vashaw into the Massena zone. Cameron's back to pick it up. Here comes Trevor with it. Flipping it ahead for LeBombard. He races for it. LeBombard winds up, scores! No, he did score! It went in and out! LeBombard scores the goal with 7 seconds left, and the Raiders go ahead 3-2. I can't believe it.
Jerry, I thought it hit the goal post. I really thought it hit the far goal post, but Oswego is not complaining. A great shot by Brian LeBombard with 7 seconds left to go. From my angle, I thought it hit the goal post and came back out. The light went on, and the official signaled a goal. Brian LeBombard on a great feed from Trevor Cameron. Trevor picked up the puck just inside his own blue line, made a couple of moves, crossed the blue line, and sent LeBombard streaking down that right side. He was being pinched by the Oswego defenseman, and from a fairly tough angle, cranked one low along the ice to the stick side. And I'll tell you, what a big goal, what a dramatic goal with just 7 seconds left in this hockey game. But again, I want to see the replay on that one. That one in and out so quick.
Well, it just hit the cord behind the goalpost. It came right back out. The red light came on. The official was right there to make the call.
He made the call,
and Oswego didn't argue
he was
a bit.
right on the spot, and Oswego didn't complain. But I'll tell you, wow, what a dramatic finish to this hockey game.
7 seconds left as Trevor Cameron steps across the boards for the faceoff. Oswego, of course, will pull their goalie, and Anthony Siapa will take the draw.
That goal coming at the 14:53 mark of the third period.
Off the face-off, Massena controls it. They're going to win this hockey game. The Bombard toward the open net. 1 second, that does it. Massena wins it with a goal with 7 seconds left in the game. Oh, my goodness. Hey, full marks to the Buccaneers. Did they play one heck of a hockey game or what?
They certainly did play one heck of a hockey game. I'll tell you, this is a bitter one to lose and a great one to win, but two fine high school hockey teams out here tonight, and we really were entertained with 3 periods of dramatic hockey, and you couldn't get any more dramatic than what we had with just 2-2 hockey game with 7 seconds left to go. Oswego gained the zone, but brought it inside the Massena zone. It hit a defenseman. Trevor Cameron picked it up just inside his blue line, and all that stage he was just concerned about clearing the zone. He stepped across the blue line, and he saw Brian LeBombard streaking down the right side, hit him in the neutral zone just outside the blue line. LeBombard being pinched by an Oswego defenseman from, I'd say, about 35 feet out. He cranked one right. It was a low shot, headed to the stick side of DeSantos, and he got it just inside the post. What a great shot, and what a dramatic finish. His 20th of the year, he leads the team in goals, only a junior. Assist Trevor Cameron, and Chris Aldis is also going to pick up an assist. But I'll tell you, the fans here, a packed house, 1,400, over 1,400 fans, just were entertained to a super hockey game.
No question about it, Dave. Again, Massena wins at 3-2. That's our final. Stay tuned for the post-game show on WMSA.
What are you going to do, Jerry?
Line up on the respective blue lines.
Is it coming back up here at all, or no? What?
Yeah, I'll come back
No,
after I'm done.
but from there, I don't have to do anything. You say, okay. Did it go in?
I don't know.
I thought it hit the post. I thought it hit the post. Did it go in? Okay. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I saw the white, but I didn't know if the referee saw it and he was going to allow it. That's the only thing I was.
it's a very good round of applause for a very well-played game from both of these teams. And now, the Section 10 coaching chairman for hockey, Mr. Jim Howard of Ogdensburg, is ready to present the certificates to the runner-up in this game. Let's have a nice hand, and the captains come forward, please, for the Oswego High School Buccaneers.
50% for the night, right?
Congratulations, Oswego. What a great game you played. And now, if we could have the captains forward, the presentation of the regional championship plaque to the Massena Red Raiders. For the Raiders, it's on the Utica. Let's win that! Raiders will play next Saturday afternoon in the state final four in Utica. Let's give them a big send-off, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for coming. What a great hockey game you saw here tonight. Have a safe trip home, and good luck to the Raiders in Utica next Saturday and Sunday. wrong with that.